Hello guys, Susanna here. I did this book in a review a while ago and there was a few things that I wanted to make in it. And one of the things I'm probably going to make down the track is probably this little cabbage rose squirrel. Got the pattern all printed out. So I want to make that. It looks really quite interesting the way that they do it. They just all do patchy. I think he's really cute. But today I am going to make, where are we? He's over here. This Patchy Fox. I think he is beautiful. There's two sizes. I'll leave it over. I'm going to be doing the smaller size. And here I've got all the like Tilda Fabrics. I've got a couple of other fabrics like these two here, you know, from Lisa Maddock stash, and then a men's shirt that I found. And I based my why I wanted to do it on this beautiful piece of fabric that I got. Yeah, I'll show you. Not much of it left, all bits and pieces. It's what I used on my woodland quilt. I mean, it's got foxes and stuff on there, which I'll show you in a minute. I bought this when I went on my retreat, which was the other day. I've got one in the blue, which is on the bottom of the woodland quilt, which I managed to piece all together, which is good. I've still got to do the backing and everything, and once that's done I will videotape it hanging on my wall. But I just love the colour in the red, and I thought I'm going to do something a little bit different, because the fabric is got bits on one side and then it's very flowing. It's not just one set pattern. So I'm going to do the red on the top and on the back and on the tail, and then the rest of it's going to be a bit more florals and everything, but the pink that actually matches the red. So, and when I was doing it, it said to do this, and you've got to, you know, like I was reading all the instructions, and I must have doubled up on what I did, excuse me, and I actually got an extra set of arms and legs to do another one. So I thought, oh, I've probably got enough of the rest of the fabric to do another one as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one, and that's for me, and I'll show you how to do it. And then I'm going to stuff mine and all that kind of stuff. And then I've got another lot of fabrics, where are we, here, that I've cut out and all that, and that is to give away. So because it's fabrics and it's flat and all that kind of stuff, I've got to take that off. That's the body. Yeah, so this is going to be a giveaway. I'm not going to make it for you because it's going to be a lot easier to post when there is, you know, like it's flat. I could almost probably do it as a letter. I'll see how I go. In Australia it won't be a problem, but this is going to be for overseas as well, so you can all have it. So you'll basically have the same, end up with the same beautiful fox as I have, including this beautiful fox, which I put near the eye because I thought it just matches. So if you are the winner and you get this, you can go back to this tutorial. It's called Patchy Fox. I'll just put Patchy Tilda Fox, so you'll know in the playlist when you get it and you want to put it together. So I'll just show you how to do it. How gorgeous. They're so cute, and they're really quite simple to do, and there's a few little tricks of the trade. When you do the tummy, you actually put the arms in and then sew around, which I'll point it out a little bit on the pattern pieces which you get in this book. Tells you, you know, sew down here, sew down there, and on the top, and then you tuck your arms in, and then you would sew all like those pieces up. So, well, I am going to like start it now. I'm going to do something a little different too. If you want to do just do the dots for the eyes, that's fine. But I've got some felt. I'm not sure where it's going to go, but I've pre-made it already, and I will show how to do that, but it may be on another video. We'll see how we go. It might be a two-parter. All depends where it's going to be put on. So I've pre-sewn it, and that's based on the eye that I've got in my my woodland journal, and also, you know, the same one that was in the block of the month of the fox. So I thought it just needed something other than just a dot. I will probably put some rouge, but for now. And I've got, where is it, in the stash of stuff for the winter. I didn't have enough black, but I've got this dark brown and this lighter brown, and here's the pattern that I used. So you can cut out your own pieces. I might put that in a little bag so it doesn't float away. A little bag there somewhere. So they even get the felt if they want to have it. So put that over there with their stash. So there you go. It's a bit of a different giveaway, but I thought, well, I was cutting it up and I accidentally come out with more paws than I needed to, so that's how it goes. And I've got all the bits and pieces here ready to do the eye, but I might do that in another one. Now this is probably the trickiest part. So this is, here are all the pattern pieces. Okay, this is the head, and then this is that bit that goes in there. And so I've pre-done one just to see what it's like, and I'm going to show you how to do the other one. So we are going to, and it just seems really weird, you start here, and this part is actually not too bad because it's fairly straight. So we'll start there, whereas these parts, and because they're cut on a bit of a, like a, you know, the bias, you will stretch it to fit over. So there you go, one winner with their own personal tutorial. How good's that? so all you got to do is just, I usually pick a winner by doing, you know, the random comment picker. So do your comments in the below. Don't have to say anything too much. Hi, like the fox is cute, whatever you want to put. Just even hello if you like. So like with anything, you've got to be in it to win it, and it may not even be your cup of tea, if you know what I mean. You may not even enjoy, and it looks like when you put it down like this that it's just not going to fit, but it does. It's really weird. I might get the smaller pins here because this is the fiddly tricky bit. Okay, actually I might start it is that way. So it goes, I might even start, it does seem like it's not going to fit. Oh my goodness. I have got it the right way, I'm sure. Okay, that's that way, and then that goes that way. I might start here, to be honest. I think that's going to be better. At least we know that we've got it exactly in place. Small. I think I'm going to grab these little ones over here. Okay. You've got to be careful when you are sewing. We're not gathering. We don't want to be gathering, which is very easy to do. And with the pattern pieces, it is, you actually sew 1/4 of an inch like here's the piece, you pin it down on the fabric, and then you cut 1/4 of an inch around it, so the seam allowance is not included. Okay, yeah, I thought I'll do the trickiest bit first, and then the rest will be a bit easier. See, there you go. Seems to be, I just didn't start at the right end, did I? Hey? Now the rest is following. And this is, I've got a project that I'm doing for next year, which requires a little bit of fiddling like this too, so, but it's always totally worth it. And the head part's usually always the hardest. Okay. Once again, seems longer. Maybe I just made this bit too big because it's got the seam allowance, I suppose. And when you cut, you don't always cut perfect. I thought I'd rather have too much at the nose. There we go. Then not enough. See, it does, because you are starting, it does come in a little bit and it comes out there. So what we're going to do, hop on the machine and try and sew this very slowly to the best of our ability, making sure that we don't gather it and it's going to lay flat. That's why I thought I'd get these. You could probably take it, you know, sew up to it. Might start that end. You sew up to it in the machine, and you slowly, and this is the trickiest part, where we want it to sit flat and not gather. So, but if you do gather, it's all good too. I think I might have, yeah, see, gathered a little bit there. I was actually thinking I might do a hand stitch, just a running stitch along there, or even on the machine. That way, when you, I always iron to the dark side, especially because this is white. So whether I do a white, I might even machine sew that down actually, so I know that it's going to stay. So I've ironed and done all that, yeah, but that way it'll stay down. Okay, I'll be back. Already 13 minutes, it's definitely going to be a couple of parts. Okay, I am back again, and like predicted, it does always pucker just that little bit right there, but you can barely see it. And I did do that stitch over the top there, which I quite like, because I did the same here. It's just when it gets to that little bit there, I did a smaller stitch when I'm actually sewing it, but then when I did that running stitch over the top, I made it a tad bigger. So now we need to get out the book again, grab my pins and following the instructions in the book. Okay, where is she? Second one. Okay, so what you do, see, it just says there, see, you've got to pin that in there along that. So you sew those two bits together. Okay, now here is the head fabric for the other side. And like with that it says in the pattern, whoop, there's the head back. Yeah, see, you sew here, stop, and then here and stop. So I'll do that, and then while I'm there, I'll put these two pieces together like that. Okay, and we're just going to make sure that it's pinned properly. There, those are going to match, so I'll make sure that that has been matching, because it'll be a little bit bigger and smaller and whatever on this other side. Okay, and this will be fairly straight, but just pull it to fit. Okay. I'm going to chop this little extra bit of nose off, just so it doesn't get in the way. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, and then that'll end up like that. Whether I choose to do that sewing line in the middle of it as well, I may, just to add continuity. And then we get this bit, which is, are they the fronts? It's really hard to tell what's the front and what's back. Yes, I think that's the back of it. So we are going to sew to about here, and then stop, and then sew to here, and then when that's done, I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do now. See, that's where you open it. Then you sew that onto that and go all the way around, and that way you're left with the opening here. So I hope you get that. Sew the two parts together, and then sew just to there, leaving an opening here. And remember, these bits got to go on there, and when they're sewn, that'll be open. I would probably, when I iron it, I may iron to either side on that one, that way, and I might do the same with that, just so it lays flat either side. Sometimes it's good to do the overside, but when, yeah, I just want it to lay as flat as possible. And once that's done, sew all the way around, because that'll be sewn, and you attach that onto there, once again making it fit. Seems a little awkward, but that's just how you do it. So that's the head part done. I will be back and show you what it looks like. Just very quickly before I sew it, see, I sewed those pieces together and I ironed them open. Okay, and that's the same with this. I've sewed those pieces together and I ironed it open, and that way this is going to be like you do a ladder stitch to turn it around. So I'm going to pin those bits together and sew all the way around it, and then turn it inside out. So you make sure you sew the right sides, put the right sides together, then pin it and sew all the way around. Okay, forgot a very important factor. When you're sewing these two bits together, you don't just go to there, you go all the way around and you sew this, so that'll be opening like that. So that way when we put it on the back of the face, it will fit, because when I was pinning it on, I'm like, it's not fitting. So you go like that and around when you're sewing the two pieces together. It's got the illustration here, see? Go like that and go around down. So there you go. See, I'm learning as I go too. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back again, and I've sewn all the way around. These are the trickiest bits. So I sewed it that way, and then when I turned it around, it hadn't quite caught, so I had to go over it again and stretch it. So yeah, you've really got to see if it fits. And then now what we're going to do is you get your stuffing, and if you don't have a stuffing, don't need stuffing. I've got an old pillowcase which has got stuffing in there, so I'm probably going to use up because I don't think I've got enough for it. But if you can just get your hobby filled filler, which I've got a fairly big bag, hobby fill, but I still, you'd be amazed at how much you use when you're making these things. I like to stuff my guys firm, and then get yourself, I've got either some chopsticks, plastic ones, not the metal ones. So, and that the fact that they're not they're rounded edges. I just use these for turning around and helping with stuffing. So when it comes to circular bits, make sure you don't cut too close. You don't want to nick your sewing, just to help ease it in and around the rounder bits. So mainly in here, got to be really careful, and the smaller, might cut some of that off. Yeah, it was when you are actually pinning and you get to around about here, you think, oh my goodness, it's not going to go, but you have to stretch it along, so you start there. Actually, where did I start? This part here is really easy. So you join those two bits together, and you join those two bits together, so you know that that's going to fit. This goes really well, but when you get to here and you need to sort of stretch it a little bit to make it fit. You ease it in, and then when you sew, make sure that you sew very slowly. We don't want to be, breaking our bits. So we'll see how we go. I've had a good look. I've even gone over this a couple of times because I thought I don't want that to come open. Maybe you could probably snip a little bit here, around the nose maybe, or here. Just see, but mainly around the ears, but I just don't want to go too close at all. So, okay, the proof is in the pudding. So what we do with these ears are going to be the most fiddly parts to turn around. So get your fingers in there like that, and I get my needle and just push it up. Okay. There, they'll be the trickiest bits, and the arms and legs are going to be the same. So what you usually do is you get yourself, this is why you don't have the metal ones, like that, push it in. Okay, cute little ears, and then the rest will just come out pretty easy. But the arms and legs are going to be the tricky part, but you just do the same as what I just did with the ears. Okay, go around the curves, push open the nose. Oh, that looks really cute. Okay, I might get the little one and go in there and really round it off a bit. Now, see, got to be really careful. I just put a hole through it with the thing, but it'll be okay. That's through the fabric, not the seam. That's why you're best sticking with the fatter one. It's less likely to poke hole in your work. Okay, and put the on one of your smaller straight stitches when you sew, and that'll yeah, that'll help with it. Now we are going to sew, hand sew. See, that fits. That's just gotten really good and perfect. The nose, so don't worry if the nose is looking a little weird and pointy and all that. We're going to hand sew a little nose onto the nose once it's being stuffed. So there you go. There's our little thing. I'm probably going to put his eye higher. We'll see how we go, and if it doesn't look any good, we'll probably just end up with the dot. So see how you go. You can personalize your things. I'm happy with that. Now when we do, I'll put that over there. When you do stuffing, my suggestion is grab a bit of it out. And I find people who stuff massive bits in there, it ends up lumpy and clumpy. I always do little bits, especially when you're pushing it in. You know, the smaller areas like in the ears. That's where you get the needle. So smaller bits. You can do chunkier bits a little bit later. Just push it in with my finger to begin with. Now, perhaps to check. Okay, yep. So I'll try the other side. So you always start with the most, you know, when you're stuffing, these type of bits. I'm going to push it in with my finger because this is a bit of a different type of like linen. And that's where I made that little hole. So carefully, so maybe wooden chopsticks that have got more of a rounded edge would work as well. You haven't got the knitting needles. So I'm just going to keep going with small little bits to do the ears. And I'll do the other side a little more. And then once we've sort of filled it up a little bit, they look like little horns, don't they? I'm probably going to attempt to do the this part. That'll be the next bit. See, we don't want it to be, you know, you really want to get it in there. You've got to be really careful, just ease it in. Get a nice little rounded edge. And having it firm, and then go in with your finger. The same with that side. Hopefully you guys can see it. Yeah, see, it's starting to get a bit of that rounded. Sort of pack it in tightly on the tips, so it's fairly firmish. And then I'm going to do his snout, and then the rest you can put in, you know, bigger bits. So we want to, because it's rounded, okay, push that in. That can be probably just done with your finger. Smaller bits, do bigger bits once those smaller bits have been like filled. See, they've gotten a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, oh, he's looking cute. At least if you've got the head done, you can sort of get a bit of an idea. The head is fairly big, like when you see in the picture. I don't know if you can see that. It's fairly big compared to the rest of the body, and I think that's probably why the tail is so big too. You can, it balances it. It makes it to be able to be, you know, like you can sit. So, well, obviously in this part, will be, this is what we've done, and in the next part, I'll help show you to how you sew the legs and the body and everything like that. That's fairly simple, and I'll give you a quick tutorial on how I do the eyes as well. Okay, now we're going to fill in the cheek a little bit on one side. It's quite a good pattern design actually. I like that I've got that pinky red on it on the head, because you know, sort of foxes remind me of a little bit of a reddy colour. So okay, well I'll pause it for a bit. We just keep going, and sort of, because it's a little bit boring, but I'll come back when we're getting to the bit where we sew the edge. Okay, here we are. It's pretty stuffed. You know, you got to really keep pushing it in. So it's amazing how much you get in these things, and I always see, look, it's a little bit lighter there. You know, just go in there and push it up, move it along. Yeah, it's amazing how much you get in there, and I think the most will be the head and the body, and the rest, the arms and legs, aren't as full. But yeah, so I might shove a little bit more in there, and then we'll have to stop it sometime, don't we? So what we need to do, these bits are already folded over because that's how we stitch it. You get yourself a strong thread. I get an old thread, okay, and then we put a decent size knot because you want it to stay. Okay, then we put that up there. Okay, I might zoom in on this. Now this is called ladder stitch. So it needs to be a fairly thin. So you pick up, I'll do it here, pick up a thread from in there, and then you grab one from the other side and just go up like that, and go fairly in, because you want to collect both bits of fabric. You know how it's like that top part and the bit that's being folded under. Okay, so there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we'll do 5. Then you pull. Okay, and that pulls it in. So keep going. It'll keep coming undone again, but just these little gathering bits. Now if any of these bits come open, use this ladder stitch to close it again, because inevitably over time, all depends, you know, whether this is going to be a gift given to a child, which it would be, because it'd be a good one, because you don't have googly eyes, and even if you choose to do the felt eyes, this is why you need to do a little bit at a time. You pull it. If you pull it too hard, it can break. That has happened to me in the past. So okay, yeah, when I first saw this stitch, I was like, oh, awesome stitch, just great. So this is the stitch that most people use to sew any type of teddy or doll and whatever it is they do. Okay, so I've done a few teddies, made a few teddies back in the day when they were popular. Probably never really go out, but you just go through phases in your crafting journey. yeah, so I've done plenty of teddies and dolls and a few little animals, but this one, gorgeous fabric and a woodland animal. Me, you can't go wrong, can you? Okay, so when you get to near the end, I'll just grab that bit, so we'll slowly ease it. Make sure you've got to be really careful. Pause it. You've got it all. This is why it needs to be a strong thread, because if you pull it too tight, it will break. Okay, now at the end, okay, what I usually do is I just try not to pin yourself. I just go around a couple of times. I always try and pull it towards myself. It's a bit harder when you're doing a tutorial. Yeah. Just go around. Then I'll bring it out, and then I usually do a couple of knots, and then you put it back through the hole that you come out of. There we go. Okay, and cut. And there you have one stuffed head. That sounds funny, doesn't it? Oh, I like it. I'm glad I chose the so you just give it a bit of a bash and stuff around and play with it, and you know, ease the body in. Quite a big head, really. I'm glad I sewed that down now. That way it wouldn't, not going to pull. So here's my eyes. Now in comparison to that one, I'm not sure whether we're going to go up higher or here, or on the top, or how we're going to go. Maybe a bit lower. All depends when I have the body. Maybe on a bit of an angle. I just think they'd look a little bit better than the little dots. And then I'll stitch them on with some black, just little stab stitches, and then I'll do probably a black on the end of the nose. So you do that with a little satin stitch. I think black would be nice. So there we go. So part one, and I love that it's got a little fox on the head. I think it's adorable. So whoever wins the thing will have the fox on the head too, and I quite like that. It's it just seems to work really well. The trees, have a look at the back of her or him, and that's how that is. So part one done. Okay guys, so the competition as in, well, is in here. I think I might go on the angle. I think that will look good. And I've still got to show you how I did the eye. Yeah, I think that looks good. Yeah, the draw, I will do the draw on this video. So leave your comments in this video if you are wanting to get, and you'll get all the fabrics, like they're all Tilda, apart from the back of the head, which is a vintage linen, and then it's a men's shirt. I just like the colours it worked. So yeah, I like that. I think on an angle would be nice, be cute. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. So we'll start sewing bodies and all that kind of stuff, and I'll probably do, if there's any particular way of doing stuffing, so same technique when you're stuffing the feet, you know, a bit more in there. The body, it's fairly big, so Yeah, so you got to do the and sew and stuff the arms first before you do the body. But I'll show you that when we get to that. So the hardest part is done. Okay guys, thank you very much, and good luck to anybody that would like to win the, you know, all the bits and pieces. So you just have to watch this in order to know how to put it together, because I can't, it's a Tilda book, so you know, if any of you guys like it, it is Sewing by the Heart. There we go. Tilda, I just got it at my local patchwork shop, but I'm sure Amazon and all that have it. Okay, well, I will catch you in the next video. Gee, it's a lot bigger than what you see there, isn't it? And that's the small one. Okay, I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.